Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be... I don't want to call this a classic movie because there's no way this movie's a classic. And the next movie I'm reviewing, I'm not even going to probably count as a classic movie because there's no way it's a classic. It's in the Batman series, but I'm not even counting it as a classic movie because there's no way this movie's a classic. It's just not. It's the 1995 superhero comedy. I'm going to call this a comedy because I couldn't take this movie seriously at all. Batman Forever. Now, I was not at all looking forward to this movie. After Batman Returns, I knew that they were putting the series in a bad direction. Now, honestly, I think Tim Burton made a good choice with this movie to, not direct this movie because he knew that he went a way too dark direction for Batman and it just got kind of weird. I like that he did that. I like that he still tried to produce the movie. However, giving it to whoever the idiot was that decided to give it to Joel Schumacher should be hit over the head with the Batman Blu-ray until they know what a good Batman movie is. That's what should happen to them. Because Batman Forever is not a terrible movie. It's just not a good movie. It's not a good movie. It does have some redeeming qualities to it. For the most part, I didn't hate this movie, but for the most part, I was really disappointed by this movie. I wasn't even looking forward to it. I was at least hoping it would be fun, which it is, but it's still not Batman. It's not. It's not the Batman that you and I know and love. It's not that yet, and it really makes me terrified for Batman and Robin, but I'll get to that. Let's get to the plot of Batman Forever, which honestly, the movie doesn't have much of a plot because there's like 500 things going on in this movie. One of the plots has to do with Batman stopping Two-Face. Another one has to do with the Riddler. There's a lot of stuff going on in this movie, and I don't even really need to talk about the plot because there's like 500 plots in this movie, and that's a huge problem with these Batman movies, that they try to do like all these different plots, and it doesn't work. So, I'm going to talk about the good, the bad. We'll get to the good, the bad, and the ugly, with this movie. But let's first get to the acting in this movie. Acting's not that bad, really. It's not. It's not that bad. It's not that good, but it's not that bad. Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne and Batman did a good job. He's not Michael Keaton. He's not Michael Keaton. He's definitely not as good as Michael Keaton. But he did do a good job. I don't like that they turned Batman into this, like, jokester that just, like, cracks jokes all the time. It really didn't work for me. Batman is supposed to be a badass character, not this guy that just cracks jokes randomly. That part of the movie really did not work for me. I'm like, really, you're just gonna have him crack a bunch of jokes? Like, that wasn't working at all. I didn't like that. Really, I didn't. I thought that was really dumb. I did think he did a good job in portraying Bruce Wayne. He definitely did a good job with that. He wasn't bad, definitely. And all the actors, let me just say, no one's bad in this movie. It's more the direction of Joel Schumacher. I'm going to talk about that, which that really is where I get into the really good stuff in this review. Really good stuff, I mean, the stuff that I hate is the worst in this movie. Tommy Lee Jones in this movie. Okay, I get that the Joker is this, very creepy, crazy person. That does not mean every single villain needs to be as crazy, because Harvey Dent or the Two-Face is ridiculous. The whole movie, this is him. Ha 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 ha! Oh my god, I'm Two-Face! Like, that's him the whole movie. It's just weird. It's stupid. I didn't find it funny. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? It was just weird to me. I didn't think that he did a good job with that at all. I really didn't like that very much at all. It was just stupid to me. Really, it was. I didn't like that. He really wasn't very good in the movie. And then you have Jim Carrey as the Riddler, who I actually thought was really good. One of my favorite parts of the movie was actually the origin story of Edward Nygma. Seeing him as, this guy that really liked Bruce Wayne and really wanted to help him out and really had this great invention. But of course, he was rejected by him. I thought they really handled that very well. What I don't like is that they make the Riddler, again, like the Joker. One of the things that they think is that just because the Joker's crazy doesn't mean that every other villain is just as crazy. The Riddler, I didn't really see the need for him to be this crazy, really. Just because it's Jim Carrey doesn't mean it can be crazy. We've seen Jim Carrey toned down, definitely. However, the worst parts of this movie, Nicole Kidman is really bad in this movie. Honestly, I think this was before Nicole Kidman could act because she's not good in this movie. She just seemed like the love interest to Batman that's only there to have sex with him and everything. And then she's like, they try to give her more to do. Like, they try to make him open up to her and tell her like his origin story. We already know Batman's origin story. We don't need to see like them develop him. It was really dumb. And then like they just make her a damsel in distress in the climax, which I thought was really badly done. By far, though, the worst person in this movie, Chris O'Donnell as Robin. I can see why people hate Batman and Robin, but Chris O'Donnell in general, I cannot stand him as Robin. He's annoying. He's this really annoying guy that just, like, says, you know, really stupid things that Robin shouldn't say. And plus, the origin of him is so bad. I mean, they find Robin in, like, this circus act, basically, and basically Batman ends up taking him in, and it's really stupid. I didn't like the way they handled that at all, and I thought he was just annoying in the movie, really. He was annoying to me. He's just, like, complaining the whole movie. Like, there's this one scene where he's like, is this really your Batcave or a parking garage? And I'm like, seriously? That doesn't need to be in this movie. It's really stupid, and I didn't like that. Michael Gough is as Alfred. They try to make him funny in this movie, and it really didn't work. I didn't like what they did. Let's get to the worst part of this movie. The direction by Joel Schumacher. Again, I'm all for Tim Burton retiring as director. I think that's a good move on his part. But whoever decided to make Joel Schumacher the director, I just don't understand it. It was a terrible move. Really, it was. He does not understand Batman at all. All he does, he takes all the bad elements of Batman Returns and makes them bigger in this movie. In fact, he doesn't even do what Tim Burton wanted to do, essentially. He tries to make this movie, like, funny and lighthearted and like a circus. Honestly, this movie is so convoluted. It's so much like a circus. Like the whole movie, it was just like da, 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 da. It's like, oh, let's throw this in there. Let's throw this in there. Let's put Robin in there because we have to put Robin in here. Let's give Batman a love interest because that's what they did in the first two movies. Let's give them two villains because we all know how successful that was in the second movie, which of course it wasn't. And I'm just like, Joel Schumacher, what the fuck are you doing? And of course we have the bat nipples. The bat nipples. Really, Joel Schumacher. That's the direction you want to take this. Bat nipples. I don't know what you were on, but whatever. I'm happy you publicly apologized for that, though. I'll say that. I'm happy he publicly apologized. At least it's not that bad in this movie. I heard it's even worse in Batman. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually watching that. But, here's the problem with Joel Schumacher. He just doesn't understand Batman. He tries to make it funny, and it's so different. I mean, the way Batman is portrayed in this movie is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not joking. The first time we see Batman, everyone's, like, pointing up in the sky. They're like, oh, it's Batman! It's like if you were to see an old Superman cartoon, we're like, it's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's Superman! And then, like, you see, like, everyone just like, oh! And it's like, oh my god, it's Batman! Like, he's, like, this big celebrity, and I liked it more in Batman and Batman Returns, where he was this respected guy, but he wasn't like he wasn't like the president of the United States or something. Like, that's literally how they treat him this way. They treat him like everyone's like fangirling out. It was really annoying, and I just thought like that was really dumb what they did there. I don't understand what Joel Schumacher was trying to do. I don't understand half the shit he was trying to do in this movie. I really don't. A lot of it, I don't understand half of what he was trying to do. I don't know if he was trying to make this movie funny. A lot of it was funny. A lot of it's not funny. A lot of it's just like, what the hell is this doing in a Batman movie? Like, the whole circus thing, what's that doing in here? A lot of it, I just don't understand what the hell it's doing in a Batman movie. Again, it goes farther and farther away from the original version of Batman. The first Batman is what Batman should be. The second Batman is too dark. This is too lighthearted. This is way too much like the Adam West version. Which, that's not to say that it's bad, but that's because that was the 1960s. This is 1995. Batman can be better than this, definitely. 1995, it can be a lot better, definitely, and it really sucked. Really, this movie just, it really sucked. The screenplay is so stupid, and the lines are so laughable. Honestly, the way they turn Batman into this jokester, and also, you don't believe that Batman is Batman. He's basically like a teenage version of Batman. Like, say you were to get like this teenager, say you were to get me as Batman. I'm not Batman. That's how Val Kilmer is in this movie. He's like, chicks dig the car. Like, he's just like, chicks dig the car. I'm like, that's where you got the line from Batman and Robin. Yes, I know that's like the first line of Batman and Robin, but literally he says that in the movie, and like things like that, I'm just like, we don't need that in a Batman movie. We don't. We don't need this ridiculous, stuff to just like attract audiences. We don't need that. All you need is the story of Batman. That's really all you need. And I don't think Joel Schumacher really understood that. I understand what he was trying to do in this movie. Actually, I don't really understand. There is some stuff that I do kind of understand, but then there's stuff where I'm just like, what were you trying to do now? Like, I didn't understand that at all. Really, a lot of it did not make sense to me, what exactly he was trying to do. Some of this made sense, definitely. Like, I will say, as I said, the Riddler's storyline I thought was very well handled. Him turning into the Riddler, that's another story. That was really dumb, definitely. The worst storyline, in my opinion, was the way they handled Batman and Robin. You could have done this in a much better way, but I didn't even see the reason for Robin to be in this movie. And also, why did he even need Robin? Because to me, Two-Face and the Riddler didn't really seem that menacing. They didn't really seem like that, tough. I mean, we've seen the Joker and Catwoman and the Penguin, who have had much bigger plans and been much more threatening compared to the Riddler and Two-Face. You don't need Robin to take them down. You really don't. I mean, there wasn't, yeah, they had this really crazy plan, but they didn't seem menacing. It just seemed crazy. It just seemed like they needed to go to Arkham Asylum in the beginning of the movie. That's what should have happened. I'm not kidding you guys. The end of the movie, they just go to Arkham Asylum. That's how the movie should have started, honestly. Just put them in Arkham Asylum. We don't need them. We don't. They're crazy. That's really how it is. The Riddler and, Edward Nygma and Two-Face, they're crazy. They really are, and that's really something I think the movie didn't really understand, and I thought that was really annoying. Cinematography is fine in this movie. It's very kiddie though. Definitely this movie's very kiddie, and but the weird thing about this movie though is while it's kiddie, it has a lot of adult themes too as well. Like there's this random plot with Nicole Kidman's character keeps trying to seduce Batman, and like I didn't care about that. I'm like, why do we care about this? Why are we spending so much time on this? I thought that was really dumb. Also, I forgot to say about Joel Schumacher. I think he would do a good job directing an episode of the cartoon series, like, say, Batman the Brave and the Bold. Not a theatrical movie. This isn't the cartoon series. This is a theatrical movie, and I don't think he understood that at all. I really don't. I don't think Joel Schumacher understood what made the Batman movies as good as they are, and I don't think he tried to make it as good. Honestly, to me, it just seemed like he was just shoehorning things in there. Really, it was. That's what it seemed like to me. And also, here's the other thing with the Riddler. He would have been a better villain had they not been like the Joker. Any impact that he could have had, like anything, he's not memorable at all because he's just like the Joker and there's nothing memorable about him. So any impact he could have had is just ruined because we've already seen the Joker. We've already seen how he is. We don't need to repeat that because Jack Nicholson did it perfectly. He really did. He captured that in a very good way. So, again, the movie is very over the top, it's very ridiculous, it doesn't really make sense, and also, I didn't feel like the movie knew what it wanted to be, because at times it's this really fun movie, but then it gets really dramatic at points as well. Like, there's this scene where Batman's opening up to Nicole Kidman's character about, like, what he's been through, and I'm like, this is a really great scene. It's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It just doesn't, like, I'm just like, where the hell did this come from? Like, where's this emotion coming from all of a sudden? The movie wasn't taking itself seriously, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now we're gonna throw some emotion in there, and it just seemed like they were trying to get us to care about Bruce Wayne. That's really what it seemed like to me, and that really didn't work very well, I have to say. I will say the movie looks very good. I think the cinematography was very good. It's very colorful and not like the Tim Burton movies at all. Because the Tim Burton movies, something I loved about them and I didn't talk about, it showed how corrupt Gotham City is. Gotham City feels like an amusement park in this movie. Really, it does. It feels like some amusement park that these crazy people live in. That's really what it seems like. And it doesn't seem very corrupt. It doesn't seem very dark. Something that Tim Burton, I think, did very well in the first two movies, have most of the scenes be shot in very dark lighting, so you really got this dark atmosphere of the movie. This movie doesn't do that at all. I mean, bright colors, like, crazy bright colors, like, bright purple, bright green. It didn't work whatsoever. It really didn't. I thought it was really ridiculous. And also, the action scenes in this movie, not very well handled at all. Really, they were very dumb. They felt like something out of the 1960s version. I mean, there's literally a scene where they drop like this bomb, and it doesn't even look like a bomb. It looks like a cartoon bomb. It does. It looks like the bomb that Batman had to defuse in the 1960s version. I could play you a clip of that, and you'd see how similar it is. It's really not different at all, and it kind of sucks that they did that. Also, the editing of this movie, it's fine, but at points the movie's so convoluted and so, like, crazy. In fact, there were times where I couldn't even follow what was going on because there's so much going on in this movie. Really, there's way too much going on. And it's like, have the Riddler. I feel like the Riddler would have been a fine villain on his own, honestly. We didn't need Two-Face in this movie. In the beginning, yeah, we had to have that scene with Two-Face, that was fine, but we didn't need the Riddler in this movie. I felt like he was really unnecessary at points, honestly. I just felt like, Two-Face was really unnecessary. And then there were times where I felt both of them were unnecessary. I did, honestly. And the movie actually got boring after a while. I was like, can I turn this off? Because this is really boring me. It's by far the most boring of the Batman movies, honestly. It was very boring. There weren't many scenes that were interesting. Scenes where there's just talking, they're boring. They're not interesting. They're just, like, boring dialogue, and it's very wooden, honestly. It really is. So overall, this is a really disappointing movie. I didn't expect it to be very good. It's not good. Joel Schumacher, I don't know what the hell you're doing. And now, guys, oh my god. I can't believe I'm actually going to review Batman and Robin. I can't believe that I'm actually going to watch this piece of shit. I can't believe it. I know I'm going to hate it. I know I'm going to rip it to shreds. It's probably going to be one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, honestly. The direction these movies are going, I know I might be being a little too critical, but honestly, I don't think I am. I think I have genuinely good complaints, and I think I have good points about this movie, and Batman and Robin is gonna suck horribly, and I'm not at all looking forward to it. I just can't wait till I get to the Nolan films. I really can't. I don't want to see this movie, but unfortunately I have to. So, that's gonna be the next video. It's probably gonna be a huge rant. It's probably gonna be me just, like, fully ranting. It's probably gonna be a very long video as well, because I'm paying very close attention to the movie to see how bad it is. And, yeah. So, that's basically for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie if you have seen it. I just really didn't like it. I was very bored by it. How could Joel Schumacher, I mean, he ruins everything. He ruined Batman. He ruins Phantom of the Opera. I'll bring this up in my Batman and Robin review, but I cannot, I don't even know how this can get worse. I don't. I mean, I know what happens in Batman and Robin. I'm just thinking about it. How can it get worse than this? Really, this movie is just, like, this series is just gone. It is, and it never was amazing. I mean, the first movie was great, but the second movie was just all kinds of wacky, and this movie was ridiculous. It really was. So that's basically my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know you guys saw this movie, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will be an epic rant for Batman and Robin. I know I'm going to hate it. I know I'm not going to like it. I know I'm going to have major complaints. I've already seen footage. I fucking hate it. And I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for Batman and Robin. I might not even include it in my classic movie reviews, because there's no way it's a classic movie. It's a classic movie for the wrong reasons. It is. And I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.